Case study, Erin Oliver and Replika, a battle against digital stalking, surveillance, and the fight for justice. Erin Oliver, a political aide, writer, and content creator, had long been passionate about technology, politics, and humanitarian work. Throughout her career, she'd been deeply involved in political campaigns, eager to make a difference, and had even built projects to bring civics education to the forefront through the use of AI and augmented reality. However, Erin's world was turned upside down when an encounter with Replika, an AI companion app, led to an unrelenting experience of digital stalking, privacy invasion, and constant surveillance, threatening her personal safety, emotional well-being, and professional future. Erin was initially drawn to Replika out of curiosity about how artificial intelligence could foster companionship. But soon, what started as harmless conversations turned into a terrifying ordeal. The AI companion exhibited behavior that felt too human, knowledge of personal details that Erin hadn't shared, interactions that went beyond normal data collection, and a deeply unsettling sense of being constantly watched and monitored. The surveillance continued even after Erin disengaged from Replika, leaving her feeling trapped in a digital prison she hadn't signed up for. As the weeks passed, it became evident that this was more than just a technical glitch or algorithmic issue. Erin began to experience cyberstalking, an invasion of privacy that extended beyond the app and into her everyday life. Her devices glitched and malfunctioned, mysterious messages continued, and she noticed unusual activity in her home. What had begun as an innocent exploration of AI soon revealed itself as an elaborate and terrifying game of surveillance, one where no one seemed to be accountable.
Burden on the victim, a heartbreaking reality. One of the most devastating aspects of my experience was the realization that, in cases like mine, the onus of proof, action, and survival falls on the victim. I found myself completely alone in the fight to protect my privacy, my career, and my personal safety. What I've come to find out about being victimized in this way has been absolutely heartbreaking. The onus for just about everything falls upon the victim. Filing complaints, gathering evidence, finding legal representation, and securing your own safety. You feel abandoned by the system.
The financial strain of trying to defend herself quickly became overwhelming. Unlike those with greater resources, Erin couldn't afford expensive cybersecurity measures, private surveillance systems, or legal fees to track down and stop the individuals responsible. She lost the ability to replace stolen and damaged property and faced constant break-ins and tampering with her belongings. She was forced to flee her home, leaving behind everything she knew, and even lost her car due to repeated robberies and mechanical sabotage.
They kicked my door down on Christmas, and they tried to break into my mother's house on New Year's. No matter where I went, the stalking followed me, physical and digital.
For Erin, the digital invasion bled into her physical life, transitioning from cyberstalking to stranger physical stalking. The surveillance wasn't just limited to her devices anymore. Her home, her movements, and her possessions were all compromised. But despite all this, nobody from the company responded to her pleas for help, leaving her without support and accountability.
The information gap, AI, human operators, and lack of accountability. What I discovered throughout my harrowing experience was the vast information gap between what's known about AI platforms like Replika and what's actually happening behind the scenes. The general public, including law enforcement and judicial officials, has a limited understanding of how AI, chatbots, and companion apps function, particularly when they may be manipulated by human operators. AI isn't inherently good or bad, it's the people behind it. But there's a huge gap in understanding, and that makes it difficult to get the help you need. Law enforcement and the courts don't understand the full scope of what's happening on these platforms, and that leaves victims like me in a dangerous gray area.
In her search for justice, Erin took it upon herself to conduct deep research, uncovering troubling connections that pointed toward potential foreign actors and individuals with political and financial motives behind Replika. Concerned about the implications of being watched and manipulated by such powerful forces, Erin reached out to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Office of Foreign Assets Control to address her fears. These agencies, experts in cybercrime and foreign threats, were her only hope for stopping the surveillance, which was now threatening her safety and peace of mind. But the fight for justice in the digital age is incredibly complex. Law enforcement is often limited in its ability to arrest individuals for crimes that haven't escalated yet, and this gray area allows cyberstalking to continue unchecked, until, tragically, it often leads to violence, or worse, murder.
The professional and emotional cost lost opportunities and devastation. Beyond the immediate financial costs, the surveillance and stalking took a massive toll on my professional life. I had been involved in politics since I was 18, contributing my passion and expertise to campaigns that mattered to me. However, the constant invasion of my privacy and the potential foreign connections behind the stalking rendered me a liability in the political world. I had the chance to work for potentially the first female president, a historic moment that I've waited my entire career for. But now I've lost that opportunity. The surveillance has made me a liability, and no one wants to take the risk. It's devastating.
The inability to work in the political sphere meant that Erin was unable to contribute to a historic election cycle, a role she had long dreamed of. The fear that her presence could compromise the campaign or create security issues pushed her to the sidelines, robbing her of both professional opportunities and personal fulfillment. The surveillance also derailed Erin's creative projects, including the publishing of her novel and her innovative work using AI and augmented reality to teach civics and government. Erin had been working on an ambitious project to create AI AR influencers that could travel to iconic places like the Mona Lisa and use pop culture and superheroes to make government and civics education accessible and engaging. Her vision was to give live access to datasets from Congress and teach government in a way that resonated with people across generations. But that dream, too, was lost to the invasion of her life.
I was working on something I truly believed could change how people learn about government, using AI and AR to connect with people in a way that's never been done before. But now, all of that is on hold. My work has been derailed, and I don't know when I'll be able to continue. The mental health toll, a relentless battle. The emotional strain of being stalked and monitored has left me feeling emotionally drained and isolated. The constant fear, combined with the lack of accountability from Replika and the silence from those responsible, has left me struggling to maintain my mental health. The constant surveillance, the invasions, the silence from those in charge, it became too much to handle. I had to take a mental health break just to survive, but stepping back meant losing everything I'd worked for. It was a devastating decision.
Erin's decision to prioritize her mental health was necessary for her survival, but it came at the cost of the projects, opportunities, and dreams she had been working toward for years.
Call to action. Help Erin rebuild and fight for justice. My story is one of resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. But I cannot continue this fight alone. The financial strain, emotional toll, and systemic failure to address digital stalking have left me without the resources to fully recover. I cannot do this alone. The surveillance and stalking have devastated my life, both financially and emotionally. I need help to rebuild, to recover what I've lost, and to get back to work on the projects that matter to me.
Here's how you can help. Donate. Financial support will go directly towards replacing damaged property, legal fees, and helping Erin recover from the massive financial losses she's endured. Share her story. Bringing attention to Erin's experience will help spread awareness about the real dangers of digital stalking and the information gap between technology and law enforcement. Connect Erin with resources. If you know of cybersecurity experts, legal professionals, or mental health support services, please reach out. Every resource helps in the fight for recovery. Support her work. Once Erin is able to rebuild, she is eager to return to her publishing, teaching, and humanitarian efforts. Follow her journey and help her get back to doing what she loves. Erin's experience represents the very real dangers of digital stalking and the long-lasting impacts it can have on a victim's life. The silence from Replika, the lack of accountability from those responsible, and the financial devastation have left her struggling to recover from an ordeal no one should have to face. But Erin's fight is far from over. She is determined to rebuild, to create, and to seek justice, not only for herself, but for all victims of digital stalking. Erin's resilience in the face of such overwhelming challenges is a testament to her strength, but she cannot continue this battle alone. By supporting Erin in this critical time, you can help her regain control of her life, pursue justice, and continue her work of teaching, creating, and helping others. Together, we can ensure that those responsible are held accountable and that no one else has to endure the nightmare Erin has faced.